The private testimony of Charlie Kirk's driver has just surfaced, and it's sending shockwaves through the political world and social media. According to sources, the driver witnessed events the night before that could completely change the public narrative about Charlie Kirk and those around him. His account reportedly contains details so shocking that they could haunt anyone who hears them, raising questions about what really happened behind closed doors and who can be trusted. Fans, journalists, and insiders are dissecting every part of this story. The driver's testimony reportedly includes observations, interactions, and conversations that contradict public statements and shed new light on ongoing controversies. Political analysts suggest that if these accounts are accurate, they could have serious implications for Charlie Kirk's personal and professional reputation, while also raising questions about accountability, transparency, and ethics within his inner circle. Social media has exploded with speculation, debate, and analysis. Some supporters express disbelief, questioning the credibility of the driver, while critics argue that his account confirms long-standing suspicions about what happens behind the scenes. Every detail shared by the driver is being scrutinized, from minor gestures to significant incidents, as observers try to piece together the full story. This revelation is not just gossip. It's a deep dive into the private moments that could shape public perception. The night before, which many thought was uneventful, is now under intense scrutiny, and the driver's account may hold the key to understanding the truth. Fans and political observers alike are glued to updates, anticipating further revelations and the impact this testimony could have on Charlie Kirk and his inner circle. The revelations from Charlie Kirk's driver have shaken both the political world and social media, leaving fans and insiders questioning what really happened the night before the events that have dominated headlines. According to sources close to the situation, the driver's account includes previously unknown interactions, private conversations, and subtle actions that contradict public narratives. These observations, described as haunting by multiple insiders, provide a rare glimpse into the private side of Charlie Kirk's life, highlighting both the personal and professional tensions that often remain hidden from the public eye. The driver, who has requested anonymity in most public discussions, reportedly observed behavior that suggested a level of manipulation and secrecy previously unreported. From private meetings to late-night phone calls, every interaction seemed to hint at deeper motives and unspoken tensions. Analysts suggest that these observations could alter public perception, as they reveal sides of key players that were not visible in official statements or media appearances. The details shared point to a complex web of personal and professional decisions, highlighting the interplay of loyalty, trust, and influence in Kirk's inner circle. Sources indicate that the night in question was far from ordinary. The driver's testimony reportedly includes moments of tension, unusual behavior, and critical decisions being made in real time. Observers note that these actions, though seemingly minor at first glance, may have had significant implications for how events unfolded in the following days. Political commentators argue that understanding these private moments is essential for grasping the full scope of ongoing controversies and disputes surrounding Charlie Kirk. In addition to private actions, the driver reportedly overheard conversations and noticed interactions that suggest some individuals within Kirk's circle were not fully transparent. These accounts indicate discrepancies between what was publicly stated and what occurred behind closed doors. The driver's testimony, therefore, offers a critical perspective on accountability, shedding light on the decisions, communications, and dynamics that have long been hidden from public scrutiny. Social media has been inundated with speculation and analysis since the leak of the driver's observations. Fans are dissecting every detail, trying to determine the implications of the testimony and what it reveals about Charlie Kirk's relationships and inner circle. Supporters are debating the credibility of the driver, questioning whether the account is exaggerated, while critics argue that the details confirm long-suspected discrepancies between public statements and private actions. Every piece of information shared has sparked discussion, from late-night movements to private communications and behavioral cues. Political analysts emphasize the significance of this testimony, noting that the private observations provide insight into the culture, decision-making processes, and interpersonal dynamics within Kirk's team. Observers argue that the account is particularly important because it comes from someone who witnessed events firsthand, rather than through second-hand reports or media speculation. The driver's perspective sheds light on nuanced behaviors, subtle communications, and behind-the-scenes negotiations that could have influenced both public perception and actual outcomes. The personal dimension of the story is equally compelling. Sources note that the driver was placed in a difficult position, balancing loyalty to his employer with the ethical responsibility to share what he witnessed. Insider accounts describe a scenario where the driver felt compelled to reveal the truth after recognizing the potential consequences of silence. This decision, though risky, demonstrates the ethical challenges faced by individuals who occupy positions close to power, highlighting the tension between professional obligations and moral responsibility. According to insiders, the night before was filled with moments that now appear critical in retrospect. Small gestures, brief interactions, and offhand comments observed by the driver are being interpreted as indicators of broader patterns. Analysts suggest that these moments, while seemingly inconsequential at the time, may have shaped the decisions and actions of Charlie Kirk and his associates in the days that followed. Understanding these details is key to forming a complete picture of the events that have since come under public scrutiny. The media response has been immediate. News outlets and independent reporters are examining the driver's account, attempting to corroborate details and understand the broader context. Analysts suggest that while some elements may be subject to interpretation, the testimony cannot be ignored due to the proximity of the driver to the events in question. Every observation, from behavioral cues to specific actions, is being evaluated for its potential implications on public perception and political credibility. In the wake of the leak, discussions about transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior have intensified. Experts note that private testimony like this serves as a reminder that public figures are often judged not only by their visible actions, but also by the private behaviors and decisions that remain hidden. The driver's observations, therefore, have sparked broader conversations about how power, trust, and influence operate behind the scenes in high-stakes environments. As the narrative continues to unfold, it is clear that the driver's testimony has added a new layer of complexity to the story surrounding Charlie Kirk. Every new insight contributes to the public understanding of events, challenging previous assumptions and prompting reassessment of established narratives. Fans, analysts, and media commentators alike are now focused on interpreting the details, connecting the dots, and evaluating the implications of what the driver has revealed. This testimony also raises questions about loyalty and integrity within Kirk's inner circle. The driver's perspective highlights moments where private behavior may have contradicted public statements, revealing potential gaps in trust, communication, and ethical conduct. These revelations underscore the importance of understanding the interplay between personal actions and public accountability, particularly for high-profile figures whose decisions can have wide-ranging impacts. By the end of the first part, it is evident that the driver's account provides crucial insight into previously unseen aspects of the night in question. The observations, communications, and behavioral details shared offer a unique lens through which to assess both the personal and professional dynamics surrounding Charlie Kirk. Fans and political observers are left questioning what they thought they knew, eager to see how the remaining details will unfold. The driver's testimony continued to captivate both political insiders and the general public, with new details emerging that added depth and complexity to the narrative. According to sources, the observations made that night revealed patterns of behavior, private discussions, and subtle actions that suggested not all was as it seemed in Charlie Kirk's inner circle. Observers note that understanding these details is crucial for anyone attempting to piece together the true story behind the headlines. One of the most shocking elements reported by the driver involved interactions between Kirk and individuals in his immediate circle that hinted at secrecy and hidden motives. According to the account, conversations and exchanges that took place in private spaces were markedly different from the public statements issued later. Analysts suggest that this contrast points to a larger strategy, where image management and narrative control played a significant role in shaping public perception. The driver's testimony, therefore, offers insight into not just what happened, but why events unfolded in the way they did. Sources close to the situation explain that the driver witnessed moments of tension, where private disagreements and disagreements over decisions were apparent. While some interactions appeared minor, they carried implications that only became clear in hindsight. The testimony reportedly describes exchanges involving financial matters, strategic decisions, and interpersonal conflicts that were never revealed publicly. Observers suggest that these private moments could explain several subsequent events that have since become public controversies. Social media platforms exploded with speculation as snippets of the driver's account were shared. Fans and commentators dissected each detail, analyzing gestures, remarks, and behaviors described in the testimony. Some argued that the observations painted a picture of deliberate deception and strategic planning, while others contended that the driver's perspective could be influenced by bias or selective interpretation. Regardless of opinion, the leak forced many to reconsider previous assumptions about Kirk's personal and professional conduct. Political analysts weighed in on the potential implications of the testimony. They note that first-hand accounts like this are rare and often provide critical insight into leadership dynamics and decision-making processes. The driver's position, close to key individuals and directly witnessing private moments, gives the account a level of credibility that second-hand reports cannot match. Analysts argue that the details of the night in question may reveal much about the culture, priorities, and interpersonal dynamics within Kirk's team. In addition to professional insights, the personal dimension of the story has captured public attention. Sources describe the driver as torn between loyalty to his employer and the ethical responsibility to reveal the truth. Insider accounts suggest that the decision to speak out was not made lightly, as it risked both professional repercussions and personal consequences. The narrative underscores the tension faced by individuals who occupy positions close to power, highlighting the difficult balance between discretion, loyalty, and moral responsibility. The leak also prompted broader discussions about accountability. Many observers noted that public figures are often judged solely by their visible actions, but private behaviors and decisions can reveal a more complete picture. The driver's testimony provides insight into these private moments, demonstrating how seemingly minor interactions can have significant implications for public perception and credibility. Analysts argue that such revelations are critical for understanding the full scope of any controversy or scandal. According to insiders, the night in question involved several high-stakes interactions. The driver reportedly observed private negotiations, confidential communications, and behavior that suggested a heightened awareness of scrutiny. Analysts highlight that these details are important because they may provide context for decisions and actions that became publicly significant the following day. By examining these private moments, observers gain a more nuanced understanding of the factors that influence public outcomes. Media outlets quickly picked up on the testimony, seeking to verify details and interview experts. Reports suggest that the driver's account could have implications beyond immediate public perception, potentially influencing internal decisions, organizational culture, and future communications strategies. Analysts emphasize that understanding the private dynamics revealed in the testimony is essential for a comprehensive view of the situation, as these moments often shape broader narratives more than public appearances alone. As the story developed, discussions about ethics, transparency, and leadership became central. The driver's account forced fans, analysts, and political observers to consider the ethical responsibilities of individuals in positions of influence. Questions about honesty, integrity, and accountability dominated conversations, as the leak illustrated the potential consequences of private actions becoming public knowledge. Observers noted that the situation serves as a reminder that public figures are constantly under scrutiny, and that private decisions can have far-reaching effects. The personal stakes were further complicated by the relationships involved. According to sources, the driver witnessed interactions that suggested tensions and hidden agendas, which may have influenced subsequent decisions. Analysts suggest that understanding these interpersonal dynamics is key to interpreting the public actions and statements that followed. The leak provides a window into not just the events themselves, but the relationships and motivations that shaped them. In conclusion, Part 2 of the driver's testimony adds layers of complexity to the story surrounding Charlie Kirk. Observations of private behavior, internal discussions, and interpersonal dynamics provide context that challenges public narratives and highlights the delicate balance between personal loyalty and ethical responsibility. Fans, media, and political observers remain engaged, analyzing every detail to understand the full scope of the night in question. The driver's testimony reaches its most critical points in this final segment, revealing details that have captivated political analysts and the general public alike. According to sources, the night before was far more significant than previously understood, filled with interactions, decisions, and behaviors that directly impacted events the following day. Observers suggest that the driver's perspective offers a unique and unfiltered lens into Charlie Kirk's private world, providing insight that is impossible to glean from public appearances alone. One of the most striking elements of the testimony is the driver's observation of subtle cues and gestures that indicated tension and secrecy. Sources indicate that certain individuals within Kirk's circle were behaving in ways that contradicted public statements or anticipated events. Analysts argue that these cues, while easily overlooked, reveal a complex interplay of trust, manipulation, and strategic decision-making. The driver's account highlights the importance of these small, but telling behaviors in shaping broader outcomes. The testimony also sheds light on private conversations that were previously unknown. According to insiders, discussions that took place behind closed doors included critical decisions about strategy, messaging, and interpersonal conflicts. These interactions, described as intense and sometimes heated, illustrate the challenges of managing both public perception and private dynamics. Political commentators note that understanding these moments is essential for anyone attempting to fully grasp the events that followed. Social media and mainstream media alike have been dissecting every aspect of the driver's observations. Clips, summaries, and analyses are circulating widely, with fans and commentators weighing in on the implications. Many users highlight the contrast between private behaviors and public statements, emphasizing the credibility that comes from first-hand accounts. Discussions focus not only on what happened, but also on the ethical, professional, and personal implications of these actions. Insiders report that the driver witnessed both tension and collaboration within Kirk's inner circle. While some interactions appeared supportive, others revealed underlying conflicts, power struggles, and concerns about loyalty. These observations suggest a complex network of relationships, where decisions are influenced by both strategic objectives and personal motivations. Analysts argue that this context is critical for understanding the choices made and the events that ensued the following day. The personal consequences for those involved have been significant. The driver reportedly faced emotional strain and professional risk in revealing these details, reflecting the difficulties faced by individuals who occupy positions of trust. Mickey McCoy's wife's leak in a previous case drew attention to similar ethical dilemmas, highlighting the delicate balance between loyalty and accountability. In this situation, the driver's decision to speak out has underscored the risks and responsibilities inherent in witnessing sensitive events. Media outlets have attempted to corroborate the details of the driver's account, interviewing insiders and cross-referencing observations with available evidence. While some elements remain under investigation, the overarching narrative has captured public attention due to the driver's proximity to the events. Analysts suggest that the insights provided could reshape perceptions of Charlie Kirk, his team, and the dynamics that influence decision-making in high-pressure environments. The testimony also brings attention to the importance of transparency and accountability. Observers note that private actions often carry consequences that extend far beyond the immediate moment. By documenting these observations, the driver has provided a critical perspective on how private behaviors can impact public outcomes. Analysts emphasize that this case serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of personal responsibility, ethical behavior, and public perception, particularly for high-profile figures. As the narrative continues to unfold, political commentators suggest that the revelations could influence both internal dynamics and external perceptions. Understanding the private context provided by the driver is essential for evaluating subsequent events, media narratives, and public reactions. The testimony highlights the complexity of leadership, communication, and ethical decision-making within an environment where scrutiny is constant and consequences are significant. Fans and political observers remain highly engaged, analyzing each new detail for its implications. Discussions often focus on the tension between private intentions and public outcomes, exploring how subtle actions can create ripple effects that shape perceptions and influence decisions. The driver's testimony has sparked broader debates about ethics, loyalty, and the responsibilities of those in positions of trust, particularly when personal actions intersect with professional obligations. The driver's perspective also raises questions about communication, influence, and the role of intermediaries in high-stakes environments. Observers highlight the importance of understanding how messages, behaviors, and interactions within private spaces can have significant public consequences. By providing this insight, the driver has illuminated a previously hidden dimension of decision-making, strategy, and interpersonal dynamics that is critical for fully comprehending the events in question. As the situation develops, analysts predict ongoing scrutiny and potential further revelations. The details revealed by the driver could prompt internal reviews, media investigations, and broader public debates. Observers emphasize that the story is far from concluded, and every piece of testimony continues to influence perceptions, decisions, and the trajectory of ongoing controversies. The testimony ultimately underscores the interplay between private action and public perception. Every detail, from subtle gestures to private conversations, contributes to a broader understanding of events. Analysts note that the account demonstrates the high stakes involved in leadership, accountability, and ethical behavior, illustrating how private decisions can reverberate far beyond the immediate context. By the end of Part 3, it is clear that the driver's account provides essential insight into a night that has long been shrouded in uncertainty. Observers, fans, and political commentators are left to reconcile the public image of Charlie Kirk with the private reality revealed in this testimony. The details shared shed light on relationships, motivations, and actions that shape both personal and professional outcomes, leaving a lasting impact on public understanding and narrative construction. The revelations from Charlie Kirk's driver have opened a window into events that were previously hidden from public view, offering a perspective that challenges what many believe to be true. This testimony has provided an unfiltered glimpse into private actions, conversations, and dynamics that shaped the events of that critical night, raising questions about loyalty, ethics, and accountability. As fans, analysts, and observers digest these details, it becomes clear that understanding the full context of such situations requires looking beyond surface-level narratives. The driver's account underscores the importance of transparency and honesty in positions of influence. Observing behaviors behind closed doors reveals not only the personal choices of individuals, but also how these decisions can have far-reaching consequences. Every subtle gesture, private exchange, and strategic conversation documented in this testimony contributes to a fuller understanding of the complex dynamics surrounding Charlie Kirk and his team. This insight encourages viewers to think critically about public narratives, the people behind them, and the factors that influence both perception and reality. If you want to stay informed about every update, insider revelation, and behind-the-scenes account, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning of understanding the private world that shapes public events, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Stay connected as we continue to uncover the hidden truths, analyze the impact of these revelations, and provide you with the latest insights that could change everything you thought you knew about Charlie Kirk and the night that will haunt many.